Hello, welcome to the podcast. I am hosting, as always. My name is Tyler, and then there's the other one over there.
Oh, hello.
And then we have a guest today. We invited somebody um, because we don't know what we're talking about, so we invited somebody that knows what they're talking about.
Oh God, you
Who
think I
are
know
you?
what I'm Brett. Uh, I guess I'm technically related to this kid now.
Brett is our resident Pokemon expert. He knows all of the Pokemon, and
That that's the family
he
relation, not
he can name all of them in number of their order. So 1 through 900, whatever it is now. Or are they over 1,000?
It's definitely over 1,000 now, but I definitely cannot do that.
No. Well, then you're a fake gamer.
All
So,
right.
all right. Well, Brett, you're going to go first because you're the guest.
Oh
What
God.
did you play this week? And I guess the previous weeks because you weren't here.
So you're gonna laugh at me. I've played a lot of Madden the last couple weeks.
get off this podcast right now.
I don't know. I've just been kind of bored with games, to be honest with you, and I kind of just
What?
feel like winning. And Madden, it's really easy to win. I don't know.
Why did we invite you to this podcast? I
Um,
mean, you're
Disgusting.
bored with games. This is a gaming podcast. I thought we told
Well,
you that.
No, I'm just like a lot of the games that have come out that I would normally be interested in, like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It just with the bugs and everything, I kind of just set it down for a while, and I was waiting until I think I told you this a couple weeks ago, but I was waiting until Pokemon Home updated and was able to do Scarlet and Violet, and then I'd start doing like competitive battles. Um, but it's tough because all these Pokemon that I have that are like EV trained and max IVs and stuff, like it's just tough because I don't want to put in all that grinding again when I can just wait for Pokemon Home and transfer all my Pokemon over.
Yeah, I don't think Justin or I own the games. I have not touched them, so I
Yeah,
can't speak to how fun it is. But no, I get that.
I mean the
How
story
many
was fun.
hours do you have in
Oh,
Sword and Shield?
that's a good question. I actually have my Switch right next to me. Let me look it up. um, so I currently have. Oh shoot, it's down the list now. I haven't played in a while. I currently have 205 in Sword, which really isn't a lot. I feel like.
Okay.
What?
Didn't you switch? No pun intended. Did you switch switches at some point?
Yeah, so it definitely stopped tracking
Okay,
after
so probably
yeah,
more.
probably more than 205. Because I gave Aaron my old Switch I got the OLED when that came out, and I don't know what happened, but yeah, it definitely stopped. Like it started tracking over again. So since the OLED Switch has come out, I have like 205 hours.
You're a grown man. I don't know what to say. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
Anything? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I don't know what I was gonna say.
All right. Any other games besides Madden, or any shows or anything?
Uh, well, Aaron and I have really been into the Hunger Games recently. She's actually watching it right now without me. Um, I don't particularly like the original Hunger Games, so we watched the second one first, and then we just watched um, Mockingjay Parts 1 and 2 last night. So that's what we've been watching, movie wise. No, but other games. I mean, I'm also, I'm kind of into competitive games a little bit too, and so I was watching the Apex Legends Global Series playoffs in London, I think is where it was. It was in England. I don't know if it was London or not. That was fun to watch. And then the Six Invitational for Rainbow Six Siege is going on right now. So that's fun. I've been watching a little bit of that. So
Well, I'll go next. I've also watched a little bit of esports. I've been watching. I know nothing about this game, but we've talked about it on the podcast before. But my goal this year is I'm trying to play through all the Blizzard games, besides like the arcade games. I don't really care about those. Uh, but the StarCraft World Finals is going on, so I watched a little bit of that, and I watched the very few European players I don't know where they were at. I was watching. I think it was Hero Marine is what his username was. He's from Germany. I was watching him earlier, but I don't quite understand what's going on. I mean, I played RTS games before, so I get the gist of it. But that's what I've been watching. Gaming wise, we're going to talk about some Hogwarts Legacy today. I've played about 4 hours of that. Wanted to play a lot more, but I've started working on my other, going back to making some Halo content on my Halo channel. So I played a lot of Halo this week and got some footage. So, and I did all the Overwatch challenges because season 3 came out. So not as much Hogwarts as I wanted to. And I haven't watched episode 5 yet. That just dropped yesterday for The Last of Us. I don't know. Justin, did you watch that yet?
No,
Did you even watch
I-
episode 4 yet?
I'm actually yet to watch episode 4. Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Are you even a Naughty Dog fan?
I promise I am. I've just been slacking.
Neil's sad. He's
Neil
really
is
upset with me.
sad. Yes.
Neil, Troy, all of them. Yeah, I'm gonna be working a lot these coming weeks, so I want to get through Hogwarts Legacy, and not like as fast as possible. I want to enjoy the game for everything it's worth, but I feel like it's gonna take me a long time to beat that because I'm gonna have to start traveling for work. It sounds like a little bit here soon. I bought it on PS5, and I'm not gonna be taking my PS5 with me from hotel to hotel, so that might be a pain. But yeah, Halo, Overwatch, Hogwarts, some good games. Justin, what you been doing?
I have not been watching much of anything. I don't watch a lot of esports like you two apparently. I have been with the release of Hogwarts Legacy, I have been unable to put that game down, as you might have seen on my Discord. I have had a new addiction to that game. I beat it yesterday. It's been out
Well, hold
for
on,
about 3 days.
wait, that if I read online, it takes like 30 hours to beat that game. Did you seriously play that much? It's been out
I
for 3
played a
days.
lot.
4 days. 4 days to be corrected.
And
I
I
have-
didn't just grind through the story. I actually did a lot of side stuff. I'm still doing side stuff.
Oh my gosh.
To be fair,
I'm
I've
gonna
also done that
accidentally
before.
100% a game, but I've never been like a huge like Harry Potter. Like I like the series, but I might become one after this game. It is, at least I find it enjoyable. The combat's kind of simple. The gameplay itself is not like amazing, but
I mean,
I don't
it
know.
lives
I
into
get
that fantasy.
yeah. It's a very good Harry Potter game, so that's new to me. It's very good. It's like
Now,
crack.
Justin,
Hello.
I need you to be honest with me.
Mm-hmm.
Did you kill some kids?
No. You still get the achievement for learning all the spells, even if you refuse to get the unforgivable curses. So that's
So you didn't
good
do
to
the
know.
unforgivable.
Bit
Yes,
of-
that. You didn't do the unforgivable curses then?
No, I chose not to. I tried making like a representation of myself, and I would not going around killing kids in Harry Potter. It's not my brand.
No.
No. Other
Well,
than
that's a
that's taken
shame.
up all of my time because I beat that game. So nothing much of else.
Well, I guess that's a good jumping point. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Brett has not played the game. Did you were talking about buying it? Did you end up getting it?
I have not yet. I wanted to talk with Erin because I know she likes the Harry Potter like movies and books and stuff.
Mhm.
And so if she wants to play it, I'm just gonna get it on the PlayStation 5 so we can both, play it on that. Otherwise, I was gonna get it on my PC. It sounds like she's interested. She didn't even know the game existed until I brought it up to her. But now that
Well,
she knows about it, she's like, I kind of want to try it. So
yeah. If you want, I know you guys are coming to watch the Super Bowl tomorrow. So if you wanted to check it out, or if you just wanted to watch videos, I don't know what level of trying it you're interested in. But yeah, you are coming over. So
yeah, I'm gonna buy it. I know at this point I am gonna buy it. I just
okay.
haven't. I just don't know what I wanted to buy it on. If Erin was gonna play it, I was gonna get it on the PlayStation because then she it's hooked up to our TV, so she can also play the game. But if it was just something she wasn't interested in, I was gonna do it on my PC because I don't know. I like PC gaming more.
Yeah,
I've
no, I
been
get
one of
that.
that. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, Did you look up gameplay? I think we talked about this going into the podcast.
I have not really looked up gameplay because I don't want. I don't know. I haven't looked up gameplay. I did look up some reviews though, so I know a little bit about like the mechanics and stuff, but it's from somebody else's point of view because it was their review, obviously.
And I would be wary over the reviews. Justin and I have talked about this over the course of the week. We don't want to dive into the political nature of this game, apparently, the polarizing parts
No,
of
that's
it.
fair.
But just be wary of some of the reviews. Some of them aren't really based on the game.
Oh
But
yeah, I figured.
yeah, we're not going to dive into that too much tonight. But I guess I'm going to go to Justin here. Yeah, you beat the game. What did you think?
I've still been playing the game, so I think it is phenomenal. It might not even be a great game. I have to look at other people's reviews because I just kind of lost myself in a whole bunch of side quests for the last like 4 hours. I don't know. It's been my new obsession. I don't know why I like the game so much. I'm not even a huge like Harry Potter nerd. It's just kind of surprising me how big the game is. There's a lot to do, and that took me by surprise. And I've done just about every optional, it's not 100% needed thing that the game has to offer. It is beautiful. I tried the ray tracing mode for about 10 minutes, could not stay in the 30 frames and went back to performance mode, but it was nice to see.
I think I've been playing on fidelity. Yeah, the game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I would describe this game to anybody that's looking at it is, if you're a Harry Potter fan, or I guess Wizarding World in general, this is pretty much if you had to picture an RPG that you got to experience Harry Potter and you got to be your own character, and like if you can imagine anything you would want in a video game besides Quidditch, I guess, in a Harry Potter video game, this is basically checked every single box. Like, it looks really good. There's a lot of story and lore between like all the houses and the world and what's going on. I Some people have criticized the main story from the reviews that I've read, and I'm not nearly as far as Justin, but from the bit that I've played, it's been fun, it's been engaging, and it's pretty much like nailed the feeling of, oh man, I can't wait to continue to be a part of this world. I feel like I feel like I'm in Hogwarts, right? As close as I can get in what I would imagine is a Harry Potter video game. Would you disagree with that notion, or anything to add to that, Justin?
No, I think what you said about checking all the boxes is completely accurate. It really does. There's a lot of things you can see just from the movies or maybe the books. I know during the gameplay overviews, they pointed out things that were specific to the books that weren't even in the movies that I would not remember because I read the books when I was like 12. But I don't know. I think it's really fun.
Yeah, I've been listening. I'm on audiobook, Order of the Phoenix, the fifth one. So I am maybe a quarter to a third of the way through that book. I've seen all the movies before. I never really read the books before. Brett, do you have any history with it? I know you said Aaron likes it. What about you?
I've never really been a huge fan of Harry Potter. Don't get me wrong, it's great. Will watch the movies and read the books, and they were both fantastic. Um, but I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of Harry Potter. Um, I don't know. It's good. Don't get me wrong, but I'm more of like, I don't know how to describe it. It just doesn't fit my vibe 100%. It's good. It's very good, but
Yeah, that's fair.
I would just rather, I like Star Wars a little bit more, and I like stuff like that a little bit more than Harry Potter. But it is still a fantastic series.
Well, it is definitely worth checking out. It sounds like you're going to play it with, as well as I'm going to continue, and apparently Justin's going to pull a Gotham Knights and put 100 hours into this game, probably more. So,
Yeah.
well, that was the first topic. Let's talk about Nintendo, because the resident Pokemon expert,
Oh boy.
you got no Pokemon in this one. So,
Yeah. No, there's
pretty
none.
good
They
for
usually save when there's a Pokemon Presents coming up. They usually save all the Pokemon information for that, and I think there's one coming up at the end of the month.
Oh, is there? That's
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Actually, yes, we're going to talk about Pokemon a little bit because I have a nitpick issue, but we'll come back to that. I'm going to try to go. The recap I sent you guys is not really in order of how the direct went, but I'm going to try to go in order. Which they opened with Pikmin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Have either of you guys played Pikmin? Because I have not.
I have not, but it looks interesting. I don't know. It looks like it could be a fun game. It's just not. I don't know. It's
I
interesting,
don't.
but it's not something I would play.
I don't doubt that it's probably good. Like if I were to get it, and I actually have time to play it, which I guess it's a Switch game. So, and if I'm traveling for work, it's a good excuse. But I don't doubt that it's bad or anything like that. I'm sure it plays pretty fine, but I don't think I've ever had any interest personally. The most I've ever interacted with it is pretty much Smash Bros. Justin, what about you? You have any
I have
history with
no
the series?
history with Pikmin series. I've only ever I'd learned what Pikmin was from Smash Bros, not the actual games. So
And Olimar has one of the best taunts.
yeah.
The ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember the specific order, but what I do remember, there were a lot of JRPGs and some really weird games, like the Fashion Designer game, and is it like Samba de Amigo? Is that what it's called? That,
Yeah, the Morocco one.
yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
I'll be honest. I had very little interest in most of those. I'm not really a big JRPG person myself. I've only played a handful. I played Nier recently, as the podcast knows. Any of those games, there's just a lot to list off. Anything jumping out at you guys from like the middle portion of the direct there?
For me, I would like jokingly, assuming it's not very expensive, probably buy the fashion one because I feel like that's a nice waste of my wallet that I'd play probably for about 10 hours and not be able to play anymore.
You know
It'd be
who
a
is
poor
gonna buy
financial decision, but I'd do
that? You know who is gonna buy that fashion one though is Erin. She's always been a
Uh,
fan of those fashion, so I'm definitely gonna be seeing that game around our house.
I did recall when I was watching the gameplay for that, the whole like the dress up portion really reminded me of Animal Crossing, where you had the person in the middle and then
Oh
you had
yeah.
all the clothing on both sides. I was like, this is just straight up Animal Crossing, just with anime people, not weird. I don't know what you would call Animal Crossing people. Little
Yeah,
big
I don't,
headed,
guys.
chunky people.
yeah, yeah. No, the
Yeah,
one
and
game I'm. Oh, sorry.
go ahead, good.
Okay, the one game I actually was kind of looking forward to was the Bayonetta game. I've never heard of them before, but it looked interesting. That was the one with like the witch. She's going into the forest,
Hmm.
and she's
It's
got that creature. Yeah.
gosh, where to go? It was. We saw the reveal at the Game Awards. I personally just never played that. Have you played the Bayonetta games?
No, I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm not gonna lie, I'd never heard of that series before, but it looks interesting, so I might buy it.
You never heard of Bayonetta before, though?
I'm not gonna lie, no, I
Hmm.
haven't.
Are you starting with this new one, the Carissa and the Lost Demon, or are you gonna
I
hop
might. I mean,
into
I don't know.
the?
I might see if I can find an older game before this one comes out. Oh, it
I
comes
have
out in a month.
Bayonetta 2 if you want to borrow it.
I might see if I can. Is that a Switch game?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I might see if I can borrow that then. Play that
Yeah, for
before
sure.
the new one comes out.
I think Bayonetta 3 is the most recent one that came out last fall, or I think maybe in summer.
Okay.
And obviously this one's a prequel, so you
Yeah.
got that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. There was also Samba de Amigo, which really kind of reminded me. I know that's a part of a series, but it really just reminded me of like Just Dance, and then
Yes.
some mini games. There's new Professor Layton. I don't know anything about that series, but some people online are really excited. Have you guys ever played those?
No.
No.
Octopath Traveler 2. It's another one. There's also Xenoblade and Fire Emblem DLC. I don't think either of you guys have played those, but I could be wrong.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. There is a couple that popped out to me. They have an exclusive Disney game coming out, which I guess isn't their first one because Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 was also a Disney game. And it was also exclusive to the Switch. I don't really know what that partnership is there, which I just thought was kind of interesting. It's like a 2D platformer that, I mean, it's animated very well. But have you guys seen that at all? Or did that cut your eye? Or did you kind of just ignore that as it went by?
I kind of just glossed over it. I mean, I saw it, but I don't know. It doesn't look that interesting to me. I don't know.
As someone who measly skimmed it, I didn't see it. But I am
Okay.
interested because I am a Disney whore. It seems pretty nice.
All right.
I spent like $80 on the Dreamlight Valley game.
Wait, well, how much did you spend on that?
The game itself was like 40, and then for some reason there was a battle pass. It was with gift cards, I'm pretty sure.
Wait, how much was the battle pass?
I don't know, because it costed like weird like dream money. I don't know. Probably like $20. It's
How
probably
did you
like
spend
50
80?
bucks. It was a rough guess. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Pull up the receipts if you want.
I'm just isn't that game going free to play? Like,
That's what I heard.
all right. Justin makes poor financial decisions is what we've
Like
learned.
many poor finance decisions.
There's a Kirby Return to Dreamland that's getting a whole new mode with some new character. I've only played one Kirby game ever. I don't know, Justin, have you played Kirby?
No.
Brett, do you have any history with Kirby?
I just bought a Kirby game like 2 weeks ago. Whatever one is currently out on the Switch, and
Oh, is
I've
it
yet.
the 3D one?
Yeah,
It's really
Forget-
good.
is it? I have not played it yet.
So I 100% of that game.
Okay, so it's good.
What,
So I should play it soon.
what I need to know is when you get to the final boss, because I want to hear a reaction.
Okay.
Because Kirby, from my understanding, as somebody that's only played one Kirby game and then looked up some history of Kirby, Kirby is like this really, it's a cutesy series and it's a really easy game, and obviously like a lot of Nintendo games kind of made for kids or for people that aren't hardcore gamers.
Yeah.
But Kirby, the end game for every Kirby gets really creepy and really difficult apparently,
Oh,
and I just said for every Kirby, the newest one is no exception. It gets a little weird by the end, and
interesting.
if you do all the bonus stuff, it also gets very difficult. But I did 100% that.
Okay.
But yeah, there's the Wii Kirby game coming back. I might check that out. That comes out this month actually. And then I know Justin, you play this game. Did you look over the Splatoon 3 expansions?
A little bit. Not enough to actually understand what the hell was happening, but I did.
Okay. Do you have any thoughts then, or you didn't understand what was happening?
I bought the game. I only put like 10 hours in. I never played the story of Splatoon games. I mostly just play the online. And I thought that not the newest expansion. The newest expansion is like an upgrade to the main city, I guess. And the third one that isn't fully shown is something story-wise, I believe. I've never played the story at all, though. I've not had an interest in Splatoon story.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't played the series. Justin, or sorry, Brett, did you ever check out Splatoon?
I've watched Twitch streams of Splatoon. I've never played it though. It looks interesting. I don't know. I've never played it, so I don't really have much input. It looks interesting. That's all I got for you.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, a lot of these DLC, like Fire Emblem, Splatoon, Xenoblades, like I've never really played the game, so I don't have much to say about it. Although I do have a little bit to say. Mario Kart 8 is getting the next wave of DLC, and Birdo is included. Have you guys touched the DLC at all for Mario Kart 8?
Unless you bought it, no, because we game share.
It's included with the online family thing that we have. I've actually
Oh.
played every single track that's come out. I've played all the DLCs that have come out so far. and I've enjoyed them. A lot of the tracks that come back, I mean, there's like one new one every single wave pass that, yeah, the booster course pass wave. That's what they are. Everyone that comes out, they have like one new track and then a bunch of ports from the mobile game and from classic games, so old tracks. But to my knowledge, this is the first one with a new character, being Birdo, and Birdo has like a bunch of different colors. But I have played all of them. I don't know. Brett, have you touched the DLC at all?
Um, kind of.
Okay.
I haven't played a lot of Mario Kart recently. I played it a ton when I first got my Switch. And I know I've done some of the newer stuff, but nothing that's like recent within the last 2 or 3 months. No.
Do you ever do either of you think we're ever going to get Mario Kart 9, or are they just going to keep adding to this game because it's that good?
I think we'll get Mario Kart 9 when we get the next Nintendo console. That's my guess.
All right. Follow up question: when do you think we're getting the next Nintendo console?
Oh God. I mean, if you follow the track of like on average when Nintendo releases a new console, we're due. Because it's usually what, like every 5 or 6 years, I would say. 7. I think it's been.
Let's see here. Yeah, about 6.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. The Wii U to Switch was 5 years, but the Wii U also
Kind of was bad.
it had some issues.
Yeah, so we're actually March 3rd will be the start of year 7 for the Switch. So I would imagine soon, maybe not this year, but next year, the year after that, I would say we're probably looking at a new Nintendo console.
Justin, do you have any predictions there?
No, I thought that the Switch was supposed to have a longer, like, supposed to not die as fast. I thought it was supposed to have a slightly longer than like the Xbox or Xbox One did. That was predicted to last.
The Xbox One had a 7-year lifespan, as did the PS4.
Yeah.
I think hardware wise, if they want to continue to innovate, just with raw power, we're gonna need a new Switch at some point.
Oh yeah.
But they are still, I mean, it's still selling like crazy, and it's gonna slow down. And they've even said in their predictions they don't assume they're gonna continue to sell at the rate they have. But I mean, in Japan in particular, like mobile gaming is king, and that's why Switch is so dominant.
Right.
So I don't know. Nintendo does what Nintendo does. They don't.
I mean,
they don't
if we're
care
gonna
what
get
other people
another,
want.
yeah. I mean, if we're gonna get another Nintendo console, though, it's gonna be similar to the Switch, where you can dock it in, take it mobily. I don't see why Nintendo would go away from that after the Switch was so successful.
Yeah, I agree. I'm hoping for a Super Switch. I really hope the next one's backwards compatible, though. I would
Yes.
hate to see them just get rid of like, all right, now you gotta, I know there might be some like cartridge issues or something. I don't really know, but I just hope that they have some level of backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Otherwise, my soul's gonna hurt. But speaking of portable consoles, the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance is coming to Nintendo Switch Online. I had a Game Boy Advance back in the day. Have you guys ever played other games or any of those games?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited for the Game Boy, like advanced games to come, or Game Boy, just regular Game Boy games. Um, I'm not a huge fan of the games they initially selected. None of them really stand out to me. Obviously, because none of them are the Pokemon games. But
So
I was gonna get to that. Justin, are you excited at all for these before we get to Pokemon here?
I have no history with them, so I mean I might have used your old Game Boy when I had to steal it from you when I was younger, but I don't really remember. I think I played maybe Pokemon Red, Fire Red, something like that. If that's what you had.
I
I
had
am
Fire Red and
excited.
Leaf Green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, those were good games.
So
Uh,
let's talk about Pokemon here because that's the obvious one. That's like, okay, you brought Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. So the thing is, we've never played these, but these are some of the more popular games. You have Link's Awakening, you have Mario Land 2, Metroid 2, Alone in the Dark, Kirby's Dream Land, Mario Kart Super Circuit, WarioWare, Mario Advance 4, Zelda Minish Cap. I mean, some bigger games, Mario and Luigi Superstar. And then you have some other games coming, like Metroid Fusion, the original Fire Emblem, at least the one that we got in the US. Fire Emblem was a little bit older. And we're getting the Pokemon trading card game for the Game Boy or Game Boy Advance, whichever one that is. I think it's a Game Boy Advance.
I think it is, yeah.
But what is the best game on those consoles? It is Pokemon. Why is that not, even on the Wii U when they had Virtual Console, they had Game Boy Advance and Game Boy games, if I'm not mistaken.
I
I'm
think you're right.
99% sure. And you could not get the Pokemon like original games. I don't understand why that is. It's not like they're porting them or giving them some sort of collections or whatever, which
Right.
I would happily pay for. I would love to be able to go back and play the exact same game just on a modern console. Totally fine with that. Why?
I don't get it either. I wonder if it has something to do with Game Freak, because they technically have the rights to. Although is Game Freak timeout? I'm gonna sound really dumb for a second. Is Game Freak separate from Nintendo, right?
So uh, say that part again. I'm sorry, I
So
misunderstood your
I'm
question.
gonna sound really dumb for a second because I actually don't know. Is Game Freak part of Nintendo, or is it like its own separate company?
So Game Freak is its own separate company. Game Freak actually, a little bit of history. They started as like a magazine company, and then they started making games. And they've actually made a couple of games that are not Pokemon as well.
Right.
Pokemon is owned by the Pokemon Company, which is owned by like 3 separate companies.
Right.
Like Nintendo has stakes in it, Game Freak has stakes in it, and some other party, I don't remember who. And this is all from my very dumb understanding. Somebody may listen to this. Actually, nobody listens to this. It's fine. I'm fine. But if somebody did listen to this, they could be blasting me in the comments and getting this totally wrong. But from my understanding, there's 3 different companies that own the Pokemon Company. So Nintendo kind of owns Pokemon, but they also kind of don't. So
Okay.
they don't really have direct control over how those things work. But they have a huge stake in it. And that's also why it's exclusive and so on and so forth. I just don't understand. Like, if you're not going to put it in the subscription, let me buy it. And maybe it's because they know a lot of people are nostalgic for Pokemon. So if you just give them the games that make them nostalgic, maybe they're less inclined to buy the new ones. I don't really think that's going to actually affect the sales that drastically if they put the new ones on there, but
No, because I mean, personally, I would still buy the new games just because I want the newest and greatest thing. I don't know.
yeah.
But it would be nice to not have to go find, because I don't have a lot of those older games anymore because whatever happened to them over the years. So I'd have to go buy the $200 Soul Silver or whatever it might be,
Hmm.
and that's that. I mean, obviously, the other thing too is obviously people are buying these games for insane prices at these stores. Why they could make a ton of money too by putting these Pokemon games on their ports,
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you where I just I don't know what they're doing. Maybe it's they kind of, if they don't port them, they can remake them, and that gives them that freedom so that they can just remake them and charge full
That's fair.
price, or
They
I
have
don't
been
know
doing
what.
they have been doing a lot of that recently. I mean, you have on the Switch alone, you have Gen 1 remakes, you have Gen 4 remakes. So they've been doing a lot of, obviously they're not the original games. Like you're not playing Let's Go. Like that's not, that's not the original Pokemon game, but it obviously is the same
Same
setting
story and
and yeah,
layout for the most part
yeah,
and everything. Yeah.
yeah. And same with Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. Although I've seen a lot about the making of Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, and it just sounds like obviously Game Freak didn't make that game. That was they contracted somebody to make that game, and it sounds like it was they took the game, the original Diamond and Pearl games, and just made them 3D. That's what I've heard. Like redid the artwork, obviously, but they literally just took the game and made it 3D. And that's why you have all these weird like running into rocks and stuff. I don't know how much you guys have played that game, but you run into rocks that are not there.
I have not touched it, to be honest. I don't think Justin has either.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, it was really poorly made in my opinion. It honestly felt rushed. Like you know, I feel like that gets tossed around a lot, like as a game gets rushed. But I truly believe when you look at Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, it got rushed in development. Because there's just so many, like you're using like the 2D plane, like you know how old games used to be where you had the squares and you didn't have like a joystick, you had the D-pad. Um, and so when you take that sort of movement and add a joystick into it, where you can go 10,000 different directions, you just start running into all sorts of things that aren't really there. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
No, it does. Yeah, I just want to play Pokemon. That's I think that's the summary that we can all agree is like just let us play the games. Like,
yeah,
sell them to us if you have to.
right.
I
would be
will
there
buy
for
them.
that.
I will waste my money. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was just baffling to me. Maybe they'll be coming later. Maybe they'll be surprised, or maybe they won't because they're gonna reserve the right to re-release them or whatever they're gonna do. But other than that, you got some other Game Boy games and Game Boy Advance. Like I said, I don't think any of us really played any of them, but they are the best. And so if we want to go back, they are there. They didn't add another tier of that subscription, so nothing new there. And there's two more big games. Metroid Prime Remastered. Does anybody here have any experience with the original?
I don't. I've never played any of the Metroid games.
I thought you played the original, but I may be incorrect. Tyler.
So I played the original Metroid. I guess I meant, have you Brett did answer, but Justin, did you ever play Metroid Prime?
No.
Okay. So a year or two ago, I played the original Metroid on NES. I played it on the NES Classic, the mini console. And then I have technically played Metroid Prime. I rented it from Family Video when I was a kid. I think I got a couple hours in and I got lost and I had no idea what I was doing or where to go. And then we returned the game, and because I got lost and frustrated, I never had any interest in ever getting it. So yeah, not the most well versed on this one. I do have one bone to pick here, which is it's only the first game, and I know that sounds a little greedy of like why are we only getting the one game as opposed to the whole trilogy. But the reason I'm kind of indifferent about this is in my mind at least, their logic is they want to get this remaster out so people can re-experience Metroid Prime because they are making Metroid Prime 4. Well, I still can't experience Metroid Prime 2 or 3 on this console. So I can pick this up, play the first one, but then I still got to go buy a Wii or a GameCube to play 2 and 3. And on the Wii, they did release a Metroid Prime trilogy, and they brought Metroid Prime 1 and 2 with not really remaster graphics because the Wii and GameCube had the same hardware for the most part. But they did update the controls and kind of did some quality of life things, pretty much like what this is doing, but not like a full, like I said, it wasn't an HD remaster back in the day like this is. But I don't know. I guess if I want to get into the series, which I kind of do, I can play the first one on Switch, but then I still got to go back to the Wii just to play 2 and 3 before 4. So that's the only bone I have to pick with this. But besides that, I mean, the screenshots I've seen online, it looks good. It's got modern controls. It's if you've already played the games, you just want to re-experience them, or if you just want to check it out for the first time, I'm sure it's a great option. Neither of us have played it, or any of us have played it, but I don't know. I just had that bone to pick with it. Kind of bothered me. But then again, I'm just greedy, so it's fine. And then there's the worst game, the forgettable one. Tears of the Kingdom. I don't think anybody's excited for this. It's gonna be dead on arrival.
You're joking, right?
No.
Okay.
Any thoughts on this one? This is a big trailer. It's a big game everybody's hyped for. It's Justin's. Isn't the first one your favorite game of all time, or has that been surpassed by The Last of Us?
Of course, that's been surpassed by The Last of Us. You should have known that.
I just want to make sure. I just want everybody to understand that they can hate on you because you like The Last of Us too.
Yeah.
So,
I will defend that game till the day I die, but that's not the point.
okay. Well, we'll go back to Tears of the Kingdom. The trailer was sweet. I thought it looked really good. What do you guys think?
I think it's wonderful. I mean, it looks amazing. I just feel like we still don't know much about this game. I mean, obviously we know it's going to be set in the same sort of setting as Breath of the Wild. But like the trailers, I feel like haven't really given away a lot, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
I had to guess. I feel like it's probably their intention. Like they just want to keep stuff a secret. I guess if they wanted to, here's my interpretation of that whole thing. Is if you want to know what the game is going to play like and what it's going to look like and how it's going to feel, well, they released a whole another prequel game like 7 years ago.
Right.
So my interpretation is like it's going to be more of the same. But the story and everything they added, they really want to be surprising. And so they're just trying not to show a lot, if I had a guess. They did show us that you can drive a car. Where it was some big
they
tank
did,
thing.
didn't they? Yeah.
We also saw Link with like some decaying arm or something. I couldn't quite tell what was going on there.
Yeah, it looks like that arm is like going to replace Sheikah Slate.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
That's
that
what it looked like
makes
to me.
sense.
And I watched a couple other people's opinions on the Nintendo Direct on YouTube. It sounds like that's going to replace the Sheikah Slate.
I did really like that shot where Zelda was falling and Link was like diving after her. That
Yeah.
like slow mo shot they showed. That was
I wonder
that could be a poster. Like that was really
yeah.
good.
I wonder if that's a teaser though, because when that was going on, didn't Zelda say, "Link, lend me your powers" or something?
I don't know. I'm not
pretty
the
sure.
best one
I'm
there.
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Princess Zelda said that while that whole moment was going on. I wonder if that's a teaser for something.
Justin, what jumped out at you? You're a big Zelda person.
When watching the trailer, it was hard for me to like tell how much of the game is going to be new and how much of it is going to be reused from the first game. Obviously, that could be because, like how you said, they're trying to keep most of it hidden. They wouldn't want to reveal everything in the trailer. But I don't like. I'm scared it's going to end up being really similar to the first game, and what's in the second game could end up just being like, besides from the story, gameplay wise, it might feel like it's just like an expansion or something. Not that I have any sort of fear that it's going to flop. I think they'll do fine. I think the game's going to review well. It's probably going to be, another masterpiece, but I just don't know how much of it's actually new yet from the trailers.
I can totally understand that as well. There was a scene where they had the blood moon and all like the bokoblins spawned down and like the lizard things. And as soon as I saw that and they showed some combat in the field, I was like, this could be from the first game, and I wouldn't tell the difference. Like I wouldn't be able to know.
Yeah, like they didn't show off a lot of new like enemy. Like they showed off like a weird like mech looking thing at the end, kind of, that looked like a boss fight. And again, they probably don't want to show off everything, but it just looks very similar to the first one with some like a few additions.
Yeah, they even showed like what's the is it like a Hinox, right? The thing with one eye. You know what I'm talking about? It normally has like weapons along its neck and it's got one eye, so much bigger than you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they showed one of those chasing him, and then they cut to another scene with that like rock monster with the three stones or
Mhm.
whatever that you have to attack. And I was like, we've seen this before. Like, uh, where are the new enemies? And they showed like one or two, but yeah, I'm right with you. Where I'm like, some of these scenes could have been from the first game, and I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference. So there's definitely some concern there. I have faith that they didn't just remake the same game for 7 years. Or at least I really hope that's the case.
Yeah.
But if they did remake the same game from 7 years ago, they are charging an extra $10 for it because it is the first Nintendo game priced at $70.
Oh boy, really?
Yeah. So, any thoughts on that?
I mean, it's been coming for a long time now. I mean, PS5 games have. I think PS5 and the new Xbox, they started out at 70, didn't they? Like when that console got released.
The
Yeah.
next gen ones, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the part that concerns me.
Yeah.
Is not that inflation is happening regardless of new hardware or not. Like I understand that. But there is an element where the next gen PS5 and series consoles, they at least justified the price increase by saying, well, these are, the next generation, may have higher quality textures, whatever. Whatever their justification is. I get it. Inflation's happening, things are going up. Price of everything's going up. Video games are going to go up too. But it just, at least with PlayStation and Xbox, they did justify it in their own way by saying this is the next gen version, where you can still buy Xbox One and PS4 versions at $60.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Switch hasn't given us new hardware. They're just upping the price of this game first. And that's not to say that their costs haven't gone up. They certainly have, but uh, that that's another thing that just jumps at me. Like, where's the justification besides like, oh, it just costs more now?
Yeah, I agree. That's what scares me. I think, like, I couldn't imagine paying almost $100 for the first Breath of the Wild. It just seems bizarre to me.
That's fair.
And I don't want to say this game's not worth $70. Even the first one. Like the first one, how many games tried copying it? Right, the Ubisoft one, the Immortal Phoenix Rising, Genshin Impact. I'm not saying those are all just knockoff Breath of the Wild, but that inspired a ton of games.
Mhm.
Horizon, like a lot of games have been. You can't say like they're all copying ideas or Breath of the Wild was the first one to invent all these things, but there's a lot of games that pretty much saw Breath of the Wild and they're like, we got to make one of those. Like that's a big game. So yeah, it probably was worth $70, but I just think they need something to justify the increase of the price besides here's a big game. Because they're also, if it's anything like the first one, you're also going to see an expansion pass for another $30-$40, and I don't know, things are expensive. Maybe I'm just old complaining about the prices. Back in my day, when I first started buying video games, they
I
were
mean, the other side of
$50
it-
on the PS2.
The other side of it too, though, is how long have like the top end high quality video games been $60? It's been since I was like in high school, I think even.
It's been since 2005, I believe.
Yeah,
The $60 price came with the 360 PS3 generation.
right. And so I don't know. I think I can appreciate the fact that $60 has been the line for that long and that it hasn't gone up with inflation, whereas we see literally everything else going up crazily with inflation. I can appreciate that, although it is kind of like, yeah, I hope there's something extra that comes with the game with the higher price tag. That would be nice.
And there is one other key component here, which is we're talking about Nintendo. The most this game's ever going to be discounted is about $10 in 10 years. So
Right.
their games don't go on sale.
Yeah.
So there is that part of it. But yeah, it's just something to talk about. I don't think it detracts. I think the game's still going to be amazing. And I'm sure it's worth $70, worth every penny. But maybe some people don't agree, and that's fine. And they did announce a collector's edition. Justin, are you pre-ordering that?
Probably not. Probably not a collector's edition.
No, you don't want the steel book and the art book and the poster and the pins.
No, okay. How much is it? One time. Okay.
It's 130. I have it up in front
Is
of
it
me.
really
Okay.
130?
Okay.
God.
I've spent
go.
worse.
Okay,
made
so he's
worse.
thinking about it. Okay.
Screw you.
Well, I think that's all the Nintendo news. Is there anything else that happened that you guys wanted to mention before we draft?
No.
I assume Justin. Never mind. That's a dumb question. I was going to assume you haven't started Spyro.
That would be a correct assumption. It's not because I don't want to play it. I actually am excited, but Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah. Well, then we are going to draft. So we decided this before the show started. We gave Brett the option of picking where he wants to start in the draft, and he picked the third position. So Justin is going first. I'll be drafting second. Brett will be drafting third. As always, snake draft rules. Now we actually have 3 people, so snake draft makes more sense.
Yeah.
So there's that. We're drafting the best Switch games. So these have to be actual releases of games on the Switch. They can't just be Nintendo Online subscription. You can't pick Ocarina of Time. That's not been released on the Switch. You can just emulate it. However, ports do count. So any Wii U games brought over, or Metroid Prime
So like
remasters that
Skyward
just came
Sword,
out.
would that be?
Skyward Sword is
It's not
eligible.
saying
Yep.
that's what I'm gonna pick. I'm just saying like
It
that's
would be a really awkward number 1 pick, and I would
Yeah.
berate you endlessly. I have a guess as to what you're gonna pick. I don't think it's too far fetched, but Justin, you have the first pick. What is the overall number 1 best Switch game?
I think I'm gonna throw you off here. I think I know what you expect me to say, but I'm saying Animal Crossing.
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
you know what? I can respect that.
it's
A
Animal
loser.
Honestly,
Crossing.
honestly, that
don't
game was
disrespect
so
the Animal
big
Crossing.
during COVID.
I am astonished right now. How dare you?
Honestly, I respect the pick.
I don't want to snatch
oh,
Breath of the Wild
gosh.
from anyone else, even though I like it. But it's Animal
It's like your
Crossing.
third
there's
best.
there's a
It's your
stuffed
third favorite
Tom Nook
overall.
right next to me.
Oh my gosh, that's disgusting. Now you've put me in a pickle because I figured you were gonna take. Oh, now I'm so
Yeah,
worried that
yeah.
my number 1 is not going to come back to me.
Oh God, you have a.
Oh
Oh, boy.
gosh, I can't do it. I can't take it. I have to take my first pick. If I don't get my pick, I'm going to be so upset. Okay.
What's your pick?
The game I've played most on Switch. It is the best game on Switch. I don't care what anybody says. Do you like Mario? Do you like Zelda? Do you like anything Nintendo or not Nintendo? Because I played them all in Smash Bros. Ultimate because Smash Bros. Ultimate is the best Switch game.
That's fair.
Forgot
Justin,
about Smash
and
Bros. Honestly,
you can't even defend yourself. Defend against that. You also have played a crap ton of that.
yeah, that's true. It's a good like party game, but also can be competitive.
So I just want everybody to know, regardless of what Brett chooses, in the top 3 of our picks is not either Breath of the Wild is going to fall to round 2 or Mario Odyssey. So just so everybody knows,
It's wild.
don't consider those in the top 3.
I wasn't gonna pick either of those games.
I assumed he wasn't gonna pick
Oh
one
my
of those
gosh.
games.
What is wrong
Well,
with you people?
you know what my favorite game on the Switch is.
Okay, well that's fair. That's fair. Go ahead.
It's Legends Arceus, man. I mean, come on.
Oh, that's your pick? That just
Yeah.
that one in particular? Okay.
Yeah, Legends Arceus. I will take that game any day of the week. I know it's weird because I have the most hours on Sword and Shield, but I think Legends Arceus opens the door for Pokemon games to be that open world, like adventure style, and not the old way of go to point A, go to point B, go to this gym, battle this, you know what I mean?
It was the first time it did something that wasn't just the same Pokemon game, like
Yes,
ever in
exactly.
like 20 years.
And it's hype, and it had
Yeah.
so much hype around it, and I love the game. So
That's a really good pick, actually. Also, quick point: if anybody picks sword or shield, they get both of them because
Okay.
we're not having Justin pick sword and I pick shield or something like that.
and
They're
same
the
with
same game.
Scarlet
So
Violet.
same with Scarlet Violet. Same with Let's Go.
Okay.
Just so we're all on the same page. Same with the other remake, the Shining.
BDSP. Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl.
I thought you just cursed at me. That's fine.
BD.
Well,
Fair.
Brett, what's your
My
first
number
pick in the
2?
second round here?
My number. Well, yeah. So Breath of the Wild. I mean, come on.
Okay.
Come on. I have to take Breath of the Wild.
At least made top 5.
Yeah. I'd be stupid to not take it.
Okay. My pick now. I did not compose a list before we did this. I just have all my Switch games sitting behind me. So give me 2 seconds to take a gander here. Oh my gosh, there's bags in front of them. I can't see them. Okay. You know, I just think I have to be realistic here, and we all know that Mario Odyssey has to be the next pick. I don't. Mario Odyssey is a great game. The only made from the ground, I guess the Wii U remake had some made from the ground up for the Switch, but Mario Odyssey it's the Switch Mario game. It's this generation's Galaxy or Sunshine or 64. It's really good. I've played through it. You get to play as a T-Rex. You get to play as Bowser. Spoiler alert. It's the Mario Collectathon of the Switch generation. Maybe, it's been 7 years. Maybe we'll get an Odyssey 2 or a Galaxy 3 or something at some point as well. But Odyssey has to be in the top 5. Okay. Justin, you have 2 picks. What you got?
Okay, well now that we got like the obvious masterpieces just gone, removed. I don't know what else.
You mean Pikmin 3 isn't the masterpiece that you were going to
Nope.
take?
Tis not. Haven't played it. I heard one good review, I think. Not that I heard any bad reviews. I'm mostly just conflicted. I'm gonna take Mario Kart 8. Does that count? Even though it's
Yep,
technically
that
like
does.
a Wii U. Okay.
That was definitely my next pick.
Okay. Mario Kart, because it's Mario Kart. I think it's like the party game. Even though there is a Mario Party game called Mario Party, I still think that one's superior. It separates families. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful feeling. Just absolutely getting stomped into the ground and no longer
Crushing
feeling
your
love towards
sister.
anyone. Yeah.
Ruining
It's
friendships.
a feeling
at its
that, yeah.
finest.
It's beautiful. It's pure bliss.
Can I actually say something going off of Mario Kart?
What's that?
So back in the day, me and my sisters, we were growing up, we had Mario Kart Double Dash, right? And I got so good at that game that they refused to play it with me unless we were playing the co-op mode.
So you're a bully.
Yeah, essentially.
We knew it. I will also add, in defense of Justin's pick, that Mario Kart 8 and its DLC added the ability to customize what items you get. So you can set items to only blue shells. And so everybody's constantly throwing blue shells. And
I
it
love
is great. It is phenomenal. 200 cc's, blue shells only. Perfect. Absolute perfect. Well, Justin, you got another pick. What you
This
got?
one might be surprising to you gamers, but I'm gonna pick Mario Maker 2.
That's a good one.
Super Mario Maker 2.
Okay.
I did not play the first one. I think that one came out on like 3DS.
It was
but I just
Wii
got
U
it on
and then a
whim.
3DS, I believe.
Yeah, I just
Years ago.
randomly bought it because I had like a gift card, I think, and tried it out, and that was actually really fun seeing all the custom like worlds, and that also made me very annoyed. That brought out the Mario rage, but that one, it surprised me how enjoyable it was. I can't make my own worlds because I'm not creative enough, but I very much liked seeing other people's creativity. People made like speedrun worlds. There's like a customization world. You pick a certain block and it makes some weird thing. I don't know how people do it. They had too much time in their hands, I guess, but I don't know. It was very interesting.
Yeah, it's a good pick for sure. Okay. Yeah, now you're kind of at the point where all the games you pick from here on out are kind of, you could go either way. Some people love them, some people hate them. So I don't think there's a good, I don't think there's a best next pick.
These are like Switch exclusives, right? Not just what to play on Switch, but things that are
Ideally,
only
yes.
playable on
I
Switch.
mean,
Like
Okay.
I couldn't pick NBA 2K if I wanted to.
yeah, I wouldn't pick, NBA 2K. I wouldn't pick,
Okay, because I was gonna pick like Stardew Valley, but because it seems like a fun game to
I
play on
feel like
Switch.
Stardew
But
Valley is allowed. But
okay, but that's not.
that's fine. Okay,
It's
well,
just like an optimal. Sorry, I might not now that I said it already, but I just didn't want to take it while it was up in the air. All right, we can keep going. Sorry.
okay, you're good. You're good. Okay. I also got to pick games. The goal is to pick a variety here, so I don't want to just pick another Mario game. So I think since Breath of the Wild is no longer available, I will not be taking Skyward Sword HD, but rather Link's Awakening, the remake.
Did you play that?
I played a demo at E3.
Okay.
All right.
I have not played all the Switch games. There are several of these games that I'm like, oh yeah, I've played a little bit of this, or I've like barely touched it, but like I recognize that these are great games. So it'll be upfront. No, I've only played. I did play this at E3. The line was horrendous. Everybody was in line to play this and Pokemon, but
Yeah,
because
that
that was the
tracks.
year Sword and Shield were also coming out. But yeah, Link's Awakening. That's I think that's the next best Zelda game, in my opinion, on Switch. I would rather play that over Skyward Sword HD. To be honest, not saying
Fair enough.
Skyward Sword HD is bad. I just personally would pick Link's Awakening over it. Well, Brett, you got a third round pick. What you got?
My pick's gonna be a little weird, but you're going with variety, so I'm also gonna go with variety. It's never gonna top the OG, but Nintendo Switch Sports.
That was my next pick.
It's
I thought you
never
were going to
gonna.
go one of two ways, and I was hoping you're
Oh,
going to go the other way because I was going to be happy to give it up, but that's fine.
oh. Well, what was it? What's the other way?
No, I won't tell you because you still have another pick.
All right, fine. Um, well, my next pick, I guess I'm gonna go back to my roots. Sword and Shield. Those were great games. I don't know. Have like over 1,000 hours in both games. They're fantastic. I don't know. That's all I got.
So you have the best Pokemon games on Switch, is what you're saying. You've now taken Legends Arceus and Sword and Shield.
Yeah, I mean, they're all great. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you want from me. The my least favorite Pokemon Switch games I probably won't pick here. I'm not trying to give away my strategy, but I probably won't pick Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl just because I did not like them.
Okay.
I'll be blunt.
Okay.
So
And I know we kind of glossed over it. Switch Sports is phenomenal. It was a really good game. I played a lot of
yes,
that. Justin, I think you also played a lot of that. Didn't you play a
Yes.
lot of volleyball in particular?
Yeah, it was my favorite.
yeah,
It is good.
it's fun.
Okay.
Won't beat Wii Sports Resort, but it's good.
All right. I also got to play the game here. I have a different game I think I would pick first, but I'm worried. I don't think anybody's going to take it. So for my next pick, I'm going to take Kirby and the Forgotten Land because it is the only Kirby game I've ever played. However, it was really, really good. I love that game. I would play it again. I can't wait for them to hopefully make another 3D Kirby. I know this is the first one they've ever made. So yeah, I really hope they make another. It was really good. Justin, what you taking next?
So we can't pick ones that are just like they're nice to play on Switch. This is preferred one, but technically they're on other consoles.
I mean, I would say yes. Like for example, just use your best judgment. For example, don't pick Minecraft.
Okay, that yeah, I
Because-
wasn't. That's
but and this is where I think you're gonna go. So if I did predict this, I feel like I get bonus points. But I think you have every right to pick Monster Hunter Rise because yes, it's also on PC, but it's like it's a Switch game. Like, and yes, now it's also on other consoles, but it was a Switch game first.
yeah. That is my option.
Ha! I knew it. Bonus points. I get a bonus pick. That's what I'm saying.
Monster
I'm
Hunter
just joking.
Rise, I put like I think 70 hours into that game. If you're,
That's
and no one's
hardly
listening to
anything
this,
in Monster Hunter
but
terms.
yeah, Monster Hunter, you have to dump a lot of time into that game just to so much as beat the main story. And I think that's all I did. I think I just barely got done with the main story. I did not get the DLC. I'm still thinking about getting it because I heard good things, but it's a very much grindy game. It's quite the commitment. So I'd actually have to think about that.
It's a good pick. I respect it. All right, what you got next?
I've chose like, have I gotten like 2 Mario games ready? I
You
got
have Mario
Kart
Maker and Mario Kart.
there's too many good Mario games. This isn't fair.
You got different kinds of Mario games. Like,
I'm gonna say, sorry.
no pressure.
This is taking
He's
every
choking
ounce
literally.
of power. I like Mario Party Superstars, not the one with Monty Mole. The only one about that.
Mario
The only
Party
thing I liked
Superstar.
about that was that Monty Mole was in there. But yeah, I like Mario Party Superstars. I like Mario Party games in general, but that one is quite fun because it's just the classic ones that I never actually played when they're not nostalgic. And I don't know, it gives the Mario Kart rage, but it's also fun as long as you don't have the stupid bonus stars for no reason that gives you extra coins for just existing.
Bonus stars are the only way to play Mario Party.
No.
If you don't use them, you're playing it wrong, and I will not budge on that.
It's okay to be wrong. That's fine.
Well, Brett, we usually go to 6 rounds, just so you're aware.
Okay.
So
What
you'll have
round
2
are we
more
at? I
picks.
can't remember.
We're
Okay.
on 5. So
Okay. Okay.
although we do reserve the right if everybody's like, you know what, I have another good pick, then we could always go later.
Okay.
But we normally aim for 6.
Okay.
I think we did 5 last week, but that's fine. Okay. I'm still. This might not come back to me, so I'm just gonna go with it now. There is a striking lack of horror games on the Switch, but there is one to rule them all, and that is Luigi's Mansion 3. I'm gonna go with Luigi's Mansion 3. It has a dedicated button for Luigi just to go Mario, Mario,
Game of the year.
Mario.
That's fair.
So I really wanted that game. I like Luigi, and that's the one I skipped last turn for Kirby.
Interesting. Okay. No, I can respect that.
Well, Brett, you have 2 more picks.
All right. Well, now that I've been informed that these are my last 2 picks, I'm kind of switching it up.
I can always
I
go
wanna
7 if you guys feel like we
No,
have plenty of options.
no, it's okay. I'm gonna pick some games that because I have 2 picks in a row, so I'm gonna pick some games that might not be very popular, but I enjoyed personally. So the first one that I really liked was Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
I've
I don't know
not
if
played it, but I've heard great things.
I loved that game. It was fantastic. I've always been a fan of the Donkey Kong Country games. I don't know. They're just fun. They're nice, easy to just kick back, relax, and just kind of enjoy a game. I don't know. I've never really found them really challenging. So they're just nice to play. And then the next pick after that, probably a game neither of you have played because obvious reasons. Unravel 2.
That is a really good game.
Have you played it? Okay.
So I've played very little of the second one, but I played through the entire first one like twice.
Okay. Aaron and I played that game a ton because it was, I think when I saw it on the store, it was $20. And I was over at her apartment one night before we moved in together, and I saw it. I'm like, let's try this game. So, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go with. I already have one of these on this list, but it's made it all the way this far down the list. You guys probably just forgot about it. But I feel like it's cheating, but it's not because I said releases count. So reports count. But the Mario 3D All-Stars bundle. You got Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy in one title. It's just so good.
That's fair.
I already have Odyssey. I just have all 3D Mario besides the Wii U port. So I feel pretty good about that. I have a lot of Mario on my list, actually. I don't feel as good about that. But that's my sixth pick. Justin, what you got?
This is my last pick.
This is your
Or
last pick.
two. Or yeah,
Well,
just
do you guys want to do one more round? You feel like you have more options still?
no, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Well, last pick then.
I'm gonna say Skyward Sword.
Gross.
Funny thing about this is I don't even own Skyward Sword, but I played it for a little bit at a party and I liked it.
Fake
I really
gamer.
wanted it when it came out, and then it came out and I didn't want to spend the money. But I know the story of the game. I like the gameplay now that motion controls are simply optional and there's no weird blurry haze over the screen when you play it like it's when it was on the Wii. I don't know. It's not bad. I think it gets a lot of hate, or a bit too much hate, mostly for its problems on the Wii, but I like it.
Well, let me read the list here. Justin, you drafted Animal Crossing, Mario Kart 8, Mario Maker 2, Monster Hunter Rise, Mario Party Superstars, and Skyward Sword HD. I ended up with Smash Ultimate, Mario Odyssey, Link's Awakening, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Luigi's Mansion 3, and Mario 3D All-Stars. Brett, you have Pokemon Legends Arceus, Breath of the Wild, Nintendo Switch Sports, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and Unravel 2. And so if this is now definitively how this podcast will rank Switch games forever, that Animal Crossing is the best Switch game of all time.
Yep.
Followed by Smash Ultimate, then Legends Arceus, then Breath of the Wild, then Odyssey, Mario Kart 8, Mario Maker 2, Link's Awakening, Switch Sports, Sword Shield, Forgotten Land, Hunter Rise, Superstars, Mansion 3, Tropical Freeze, Unravel 2, Mario 3D All-Stars, and Skyward Sword HD. So
That's
for now on,
beautiful.
that is the definitive list of the greatest Switch games of all time. Until the Switch ends, and then maybe we'll redo this list when we've had Tears of the Kingdom and some other games to mix it up with.
Also,
I've also go ahead.
Could we argue when it comes out that Hogwarts Legacy is a Switch game?
It's not even like it's a streaming game though. It's not even a real release.
Oh, I know. No, but doesn't it come out on the Switch in July?
In
or something?
July, yeah.
Yeah.
It does. It's one of those like
I know.
yeah, it's not native
Yeah,
because the Switch would die.
that's fair.
I've noticed with this list, we don't like JRPGs apparently. So Fire Emblem, Xenoblade, screw you. Those games suck.
We replaced them with 500 different versions of Mario games.
Mario and Zelda, a couple Pokemon. Let's see here. If I had a count by genre, we have. Well, there's only one Animal Crossing game on Switch, so that doesn't count. But ignoring Smash Ultimate, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Mario games on the list. 1 Donkey Kong. 2 Pokemon games, but if you don't count Sword and Shield separate. 1, 2, 3. 3 Zelda games. Yeah.
We
You're,
stuck with the
very,
classics. We know what we
very
like.
one note.
I will say I'm kind of surprised, even though it's technically not a Switch exclusive. I feel like it's very much played more on the Switch that you did not take Sonic Origins.
Oh yeah.
I thought about it. Sonic Frontiers is also on there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot that was a game.
We didn't take New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe Edition. We didn't take the Bayonetta games. Yoshi's Crafted World, Astral Chain, New Pokemon Snap. We did
That's a
not
good
take
one.
Ring Fit Adventure. Like I said, the Xenoblade games or Fire Emblem games. Metroid Dread did not make our list.
I see there's this game on the shop called Unpacking, and I think it's just
I've seen that.
unpacking boxes into a room, and it looks.
It is, and there's a
It
cat that
sounds
keeps
stupid at
messing things
first,
up.
but it kind of looks. I don't know. I feel like I'd enjoy that. Not for
What else?
$20 though. I'm poor.
What else did we miss? We didn't do the Wii U, 3D Mario.
That was like in my up next, but I didn't want to keep
Captain
taking
Toad Treasure
Mario
Tracker
things.
didn't make it. Octopath Traveler didn't make it. Paper Mario didn't make it. Mario and Rabbids didn't make it. I don't know what other ones. Tetris 99. Splatoon games did not make it. Is a shame.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good list. I think all right. We're gonna retread some water before we end this real quick. Brett, I want you to compare last week's list for me.
Oh God. Okay.
Because we had a whole discussion about Justin's horrendous picks.
What
Last
were you-
week we drafted the best drinks for gaming, best thing to have on hand for liquids while you're gaming.
Okay.
I took
Can I guess your number one pick before you
Sure.
tell me?
Yeah.
Is it Guinness?
no.
Oh, okay.
That's
actually
smart. That's a smart guess.
It is a good guess. We looped some categories. So for example, we
Okay.
looped like sweet tea and iced tea together. All
Okay.
hot teas. We weren't differentiating with like Earl Grey or something like that.
Right.
So beer was only one category. Same as
Okay.
wine.
Nice.
But
Good
I went
wine
for the
to go
meme.
with your-
Yeah,
Okay.
I went for the meme. So this isn't my personal pick, but I said Mountain Dew was the overall number one because
All right.
I mean Mountain Dew Doritos. That's a game.
Right.
My
Fair.
list ended up being Mountain Dew, coffee, because I'm old, beer,
Yeah.
G Fuel,
Okay.
and sweet tea.
God, you went for all
Justin-
the memes.
I did. Justin went for water.
Okay.
Which was a
Gamers
good
need
pick.
more water.
No,
Yeah.
it's a good pick. I agree with it.
Where to drink your water?
He went with Monster.
Okay.
Yeah, they've had like Halo stuff, I guess. Yeah.
He went for hot tea. Sorry, he went for Powerade and Gatorade next, which is fine.
Yeah.
Went for hot tea.
Okay.
But the last one was the one that I was like, really? Which was hot chocolate.
Oh,
Interesting.
You can suck my nuts. I had hot chocolate. I was drinking it while playing Hogwarts Legacy literally like 2 hours ago, and it was a beautiful time. So
Who sits down with hot chocolate? You're gonna get things all sticky.
no,
it
you
was justified it last week.
I'm not dumping it on the controller. I'm just set it on a coaster. You play a nice cozy game. I was playing Hogwarts
What?
Legacy. It's not very cozy.
That is not a cozy game. If you're sitting down with Animal Crossing, that's fine.
Okay,
the
but I
best
was,
Switch game
just
according to our list. That's
planting my
fine.
herbs. I was, feeding my animals, drinking my hot cocoa, being all Harry Potter, being all British and stuff. And
No,
yes,
hot tea
It
would have
was
been all
actually
British, not hot cocoa.
Okay, well, I'll make some tea next time.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it was our mother. She came in my room and asked hot tea or hot cocoa, and I chose hot cocoa. So
So you didn't even go by your draft order.
I don't care because
You don't believe in your draft.
I wanted
That's all.
some hot cocoa. I had to
Mhm.
justify the hot cocoa, and it was worth
Mhm.
it. I'm right.
Brett, do you ever sit down to game with some hot chocolate? Do you ever sit
Uh,
down? You're gonna rock out some Valorant or Apex Legends with your hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
No, but I'll give a reason why. I would
You
die.
can't. Yeah, you would die. Never mind. You have allergies. So
Seems
Brett's
like a
on my
skill
side. He's
issue.
not a fan of hot chocolate.
Well, I guess you can say that, but I've never had hot chocolate, so I can't tell you if it would be a good gaming drink or not.
Brett, just out of curiosity, what are your top beverages of choice for gaming?
I don't know if I mean, I would just go with my normal beverages. I always, when I game, I either have um some Pepsi or Dr. Pepper if it's like, not close enough to bedtime that it's not gonna keep me awake. But then that bedtime drink when I'm playing at like, I'm gonna sound old because I am old, but when I'm playing at like 10:30 and I'm about to go to bed, I sit down with apple juice. So those are my picks.
With apple juice?
Yes. That is
Okay,
my
I
that is
didn't
my
say
pick.
apple
Hot
juice.
chocolate
You're
doesn't sound
bullying
so bad
me.
anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm just joking. I'm
my
just joking.
Are you 5?
pre-bedtime-
What do you mean?
No, my
Apple
pre-bedtime
juice?
drink for a while has been apple juice. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Interesting.
judge me if you want. I'm sticking
And
to it.
yeah, okay. Well, that was episode 7 of the Marble Bros podcast with Brett. He'll maybe hop on in the future. He doesn't like us. We just bullied him over his apple juice, so he probably won't come back. But thank you
Depends.
again to me for listening to make sure the audio didn't screw up. And maybe Brett because he's on an episode.
Who knows? Maybe
Justin
I'll
doesn't
to
listen.
another episode.
What's
I
that?
listen.
Ugh.
Just remember that Animal Crossing is apparently the greatest Switch game of all time.
Better than
But,
Breath of the Wild. Better than
But
Odyssey.
everybody knows Smash Ultimate is actually the best. So,
Wrong.
Wrong.
well, as always, Gibby.